What is up, everyone? DSP here, and alright, let's talk, okay? Let's get the elephant in the room addressed. Let's talk about what's been going on over the past month regarding myself and my future here on YouTube. As you know, about a month ago I made an announcement that something had happened and it was uncertain what was going to happen to me, whether or not I was going to be able to continue doing YouTube full-time as a career, as I've done for the past 2 years, and that I was, basically working stuff out, and that I would have more information for people at a future date, which I now finally do. And as I said a month ago, I can't give you every single detail regarding what's going on, because when you get to a certain situation and there's legal stuff going on, there's nothing you can do. You can't really come out and talk about things the way you want to. And I know that that's frustrating for you as a viewer, because you probably really are interested in what's going on. And I know a lot of people say, I'm their daily source of entertainment, or I'm one of their favorite YouTubers and they love watching my content. And, I really feel that I have had a personal relationship with my viewer that a lot of other YouTubers don't have, where I share a lot of personal information with you, and you kind of you live through the stuff that I'm going through along with me, because I involve everyone in this stuff. And it's frustrating to me to not be able to basically explain the entire situation to everyone. But what I can do is I can give you the idea of what's been happening generally out of public information that's already come out, and I can try to give you a general explanation of how it's affected me, and I can tell you about some changes that are coming effective pretty much immediately, okay? Alright, so let's talk turkey. As you know, here on YouTube, my channels, DSP Gaming, DSP Street Fighter, and now the King of Hate Vlogs, where you're watching this video, are all partnered through Machinima. Now, what does that mean? Well, YouTube has this program called AdSense, which allows you to monetize your videos, which means you put ads on your videos, and YouTube makes money off of these ads, okay? And then based off the money they make, they give you a cut. Now, I used to be part of this AdSense program on a personal channel that I used to have called the King of Hate HD. It was basically a vlog-style channel, just like the King of Hate Vlogs. I used to do series like Cooking with the King. I used to do DSP Tries It. I used to have these things going as ongoing series. And it was funny because when I was laid off in 2010 from my full-time job, because yes, that's right, no, I never planned on doing YouTube full-time, I just had really nothing to fall back on besides YouTube. The job situation in Connecticut is atrocious. The company that laid me off in 2010 laid off my dad this year, who was with the company for some 30 years, okay? There's no jobs, basically, in the level of stuff that I was doing. And it's awful. There's people here who are working 2, 3 jobs at once, still not making enough to get by. The mainstream media will try to tell you that the economy is getting better. I'm here to tell you absolutely not, it is not. At least not on the East Coast of the United States. It's terrible, okay? And it's a bad situation. So, when I was laid off from my full-time job in 2010, I announced this on my partnered channel then, the King of Hate HD, and I guess really literally what happened was I had so much fan support for me that the fans watched my videos and they kind of went nuts regarding the ads and everything that were on my videos at the time. And I made a big chunk of money just off my partnered channel within about a month to a month and a half's time after I got laid off. And that was overwhelmingly amazing that my fans cared about me so much that they did that for me. But because that happened, YouTube accused me of fraud, saying that, oh, there's no way that anyone could legitimately make that much money in that short period of time, and they kicked me out of the AdSense program, okay? So now, once again, I was back to square one. And I'm not going to go through the whole history of everything that I went through, but it was a pretty trying time. But finally, I found a home with Machinima. And what Machinima did is it's a little bit different than the AdSense program, okay? My partnership with Machinima, as I've explained since day one, and I was told by Machinima I could explain this to everyone back in the day, is based off of how many views I get on my videos. So the more views that I get, the more money I make. So it's a great incentive for me to put out quality content and to put out a lot of content because the more I put out and the more quality that I put out, the more views I get and the more money I make. So over the past 2 years, I've really enjoyed having this partnership with Machinima, and it's been overwhelmingly positive for me. I've done things that I never thought I would ever be able to do, like play every major game, review most major games, travel around the country going to gaming conventions and meeting the fans in person, starting a gaming comedy web series like Project 7, actually going to E3 as an independent. How crazy is that? I went to E3 as an independent. I didn't have to represent any company or anything, and I was able to cover E3. That's nuts. Who gets to do that? And I really enjoyed it, and it's a crazy, groundbreaking thing for someone like me. I really feel like, with my YouTube career, that was a milestone for me. Having some tea, by the way. And so it's been an overwhelmingly positive experience. But last year in 2012, something kind of happened that was really good, but at the same time, I almost felt like it was too good to be true. And come to find out, by year end, yeah, it was too good to be true, okay? And the good news is this, okay? I am an intelligent person. I'm a finance major. I went to school for finance. I knew day one when I started making money off of YouTube that I was going to bank it. I was not going to go out there and invest in things that I couldn't get money out of. I wasn't going to go out there and overspend, as you've seen. Even though I told you for the past 2 years financially I've been doing pretty well for myself, I'm still here in the condo. I didn't go out and buy a super overexpensive house, and I didn't go out and buy a sports car. Yes, I am driving a BMW, but it's actually a lot more economical than people really think, and it's also full service, so I actually, in the long run, am probably going to be paying the same, if not less than what I paid for my previous car, which was a piece of shit, and I had to constantly have it in the shop. I basically paid for that car 3 times over. So I basically have lived within my means, you know what I mean? You don't see me here with super expensive clothes on or anything, and you don't see me wearing jewelry and shit. You know, I'm smart. I've banked my money. So regardless of what happens in this next year, I'm still okay. So I just want everyone to understand that. This video is not an attempt for me to try to beg people for money and ask for donations or do a Kickstarter. And there's going to be people who are going to say that kind of stuff, and you have to really think about the history of the person who you're watching when people say nasty shit. Because have I ever in the history of me being on YouTube begged people for donations, begged for money, begged for anything? That's not the kind of person I am. And actually, since I started making money on YouTube, I actually literally said to everyone, I am not accepting monetary donations, because there were people who were attempting to send me money and stuff, because previously when I wasn't making money off of this, I was accepting that for the cost of buying games and stuff because this was my hobby. But since it became my occupation, I said, no, everything is a tax write-off. I don't need money, you know, I don't want that. That's ridiculous that I would have people be sending me money and stuff, and I'm still not asking for that, and I would actually morally feel bad if that were the case, if I were to have to do stuff like that, and I really hope that I never will, okay? The only reason I can really see myself doing that is if I was so destitute and I couldn't find a job outside of, you know, YouTube, which I'm hoping that would never come to that, okay? So anyway, the bottom line is this. Things are changing, and I'm going to explain the changes in this video regarding what's happening, and I hope that this will at least explain to everyone what's going on. And you know, I did say a couple days ago in a trailer that I put on DSP Gaming for this video that this is the most important video I've ever put out. And a lot of people, oh, no, that's not true, Phil. The most important video you ever put out was about Sopa and Pippa because it helped the greater good. So how dare you say that a video about your personal career would be the most important? Well, let me tell you something. If I didn't have this career, I couldn't make the video about Sopa and Pippa. So guess what? Yes, this is the most important video I've ever put out because it is regarding the future of my career. So, enough is enough about the beating around the bush. Let's get honest here and let's talk a little bit. The bottom line is that, as you know, my partnership with Machinima is based off of views. And I make a certain amount of money based off of how many views I get on videos, okay? Here on my partner channels. And it's changed in a little bit, okay? For right now, it's public knowledge. It is absolutely public knowledge because, unfortunately, people have violated their non-disclosure agreements, and they've come out and said that Machinima is renegotiating all their partner contracts. Now, not all of them. People who, really aren't bigger time YouTubers, and I don't like to say that because do I see myself as a big time YouTuber? No, but I am big enough that at least I'm making a living off of YouTube, okay? So let's put it in that perspective. People who are able to make a living off of YouTube are kind of being forced to renegotiate their contracts. They're getting these form letters, and it's happening. And it's happening for a reason. It's because Machinima's partnerships aren't like anybody else's. Everyone else, and I'll tell you, I've been contacted by other companies who have wanted to partner my channels since I've gotten so popular on YouTube. It hasn't just been Machinima. There have been Full Screen, and there's one or two others who have contacted me, okay? And the problem is that most of these companies base the way they pay you off of ad performance on your videos, okay? Now, what does that mean? It means that every month, people watch your videos, and depending on what kind of ads are shown on your videos, it could be a video ad, it could be just one of those banner ads that shows up and an ad on the side. You make a certain amount of money based off of ad performance, which is obviously if people watch the ads, if people click the ads. This is how AdSense used to work with me when I had my personal account, The King of Hate HD. And this is why this kind of ad-based business doesn't work, because there's no way to legitimately prove whether or not if someone watches an ad or clicks an ad, if that was intentional or not. It's a flawed business model. And so at any time, any company could just say, oh, fuck you, we don't believe that this was legitimate, you're kicked out and you make no money. And this is literally what YouTube did to me a couple of years ago. So, that business model is very flaky. It's unsure whether or not you'll be able to consistently make money with that business model. And it's also just, it's not, let me put it this way, it's not consistent, meaning month to month, ad revenue fluctuates greatly, and I really learned about this when I was part of Blip TV, because Blip TV worked this way. On a month where ads were huge, like December, it's the end of the year, everyone's buying Christmas presents, okay? Ad revenue is always huge in December. But there are other months, like January, February, where it slows down, because now it's not a big buying season anymore. That season is over, and ad revenue goes way down. And so if you're with a partnership program like those, you make less money than someone who has like a flat rate most of the time. It really is kind of honest. In the holiday season, you'll make a shitload of money, and then the other slower times of the year, you'll make almost no money. And it's a very unsure thing, and it's very unstable. And so for someone like me to go to a program like that, it would make no sense. It would be very, very bad, because there would maybe be months where I'd have like no money at all, and then other months where I'd make a shit ton of money, and it'd be very hard to gauge, gee, what kind of money am I really making doing this YouTube thing if I were to do one of those. And, a lot of people have said, oh, Phil's going to announce that he's going to another network, and that's the big announcement because of all these, the renegotiation of contracts and stuff that's been going on. And that's not the case. And this is what I mean. There's so many people who are just speculating, and they're spreading rumors, and it's just completely untrue, some of the stuff that these people are saying. Oh, the top YouTubers renegotiated with Machinima, and they want more money, and that's why everyone else gets paid less. Why do you believe this stuff? You know what I mean? It's so insane. No. If there's renegotiation, it's going to affect everyone. It's not going to be like just certain people make more money and certain people make less money. It's bullshit. You can't believe that nonsense, okay? It's complete and utter nonsense. So, the bottom line is, there's been some stuff going on with me and my contract, and there's going to be some changes. Actually, they're already effective. They took effect this week. And the bottom line is, I am making less money now, okay? Now, I can't give you specifics, okay? I can't. I'm contractually obligated. I can't explain to you how much I make and stuff like that. But you know how I make money, and I'm still making money based off of how I used to. It's still based off of views, okay? It's not based off of ad performance or any of this nonsense. So, that is kind of still my lifeblood. My lifeblood is I need to make quality content for you, the viewer, and I really need you to watch the content and hopefully enjoy it. But this year really is a pivotal year in my life, because this is something now, this YouTube career is something I've done for 2 years. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing. And I think from the feedback that I've gotten for the past 2 years that everyone has really enjoyed that I'm doing it full time as well. I've gotten overwhelmingly positive feedback regarding playthroughs, regarding, again, convention coverage, E3, Project 7. Everything that I'm being told is that I'm going in the right direction, but I need a few tweaks, okay? And I fully understand that. And I do want to come out right now, and I want to kind of apologize a little bit to anyone who's felt offended that I was kind of obstinate and I really wasn't open to criticism in the past few years, because the bottom line was I had a plan, I had kind of a blueprint of what I was going to follow, and it was working. And it is still working. It really is. Just that it's kind of finally, the bubble has burst, let's put it that way. I said a couple years ago, I'm just riding the wave. Well, the wave is not really a high tidal wave anymore, it's more like a regular neutral wave. And the thing is, I don't want things to stagnate. I don't want things to slow down. I enjoyed having so many people watch my videos and say, wow, this is great content, and getting the feedback that I did. And I really feel that I focused too much these past few years on quantity of content, and I kind of just put my head down and pushed through and did a lot of work without really keeping the constant contact with my fans that I had in the past. And what I mean by that is in 2010, when I was laid off from my job, fans were so moved by what was going on that my fans made a website, thekingofhate.com, okay? Two fans, Chris and Teo, really were responsible for that. And that website was a place where I could interact with my fans. And I had tens of thousands of people go over there and sign up. And over the past 2 years, really, I've used the website for intelligent discussion, for polls at the end of the year, for contests, but the website's really been neglected. I really feel that it could have been bigger than what it is, it could have been better than what it is, and it's my fault, okay? And I take responsibility for that, because I was so busy making videos that I didn't realize that maybe if I made a few less videos, but I spent more time interacting with the fans and having a direct relationship with the fans and listening to the fans and what they wanted, that maybe that would have been a better avenue. And I really do feel at this point in time that that really would have been a better use of my time. Okay, so the bottom line is I need your help come this year, okay? And I'm going to make immediate changes, which I'm about to announce, that are going to maybe surprise some people, but I think you're going to be happy with some of them as well, okay? Because I need you to give me the benefit of the doubt again, and let me explain what I mean. I really feel that back in 2010, I was almost like infallible. Like no matter what game I played, no matter what video I put out, people would give me the benefit of the doubt and say, you know what? Because Phil is making this video, I trust it to be entertaining content. And no matter what it is, I'm going to watch it. And yes, I fully understand that not everyone watched every video back in 2013. Obviously, it was impossible. I put out a lot of videos back then, too. But there were people who tried, and there were people who made an honest effort. And, you know, if I had made a change in 2010 that said I was moving all my vlog videos to a new channel, people would have went over in droves and watched the new videos. And now it's a lot harder because I really feel that people have kind of either said, you know, Phil's not as funny as he was, Phil's stagnated, Phil puts out too many videos and I can't keep up with them anymore. And because I can't keep up with them, I'm really not entertained, and I feel disappointed because I used to keep up on all his stuff, but now he does so much content that there's no way to watch it all. If you are a reasonable person who has a full-time job or even a part-time job, or, you know, has a life and goes to school, and there's no way that you can watch all the content. And in the year of 2012, my views really have dwindled. And what I mean is, I believe in the year of 2011, I probably got somewhere over like 10 to 11 million views on DSP Gaming, and then in 2012 I only barely reached like 8.5 million or something like that. I don't think the final number is in yet, but it's a drop off, and that's alarming to say. I did more in 2012. I actually feel that I worked harder in 2012 than I did in 2011, but my view performance was less, okay? So that's alarming. But at the same time, I said, well, I'm still making good money, and so I don't know if it really warrants a change. But I did. I actually consciously decided in November of 2012 to make changes, to separate my vlog style videos from DSP Gaming and move them over to a new channel, to do less gaming on DSP Gaming and focus more on vlog videos, and to try to put out better quality content here on DSP Gaming in the new year. And all that's great, and I kind of said, well, I hope it works, but even if it doesn't and things slow down a bit, I'll be okay. And then all of a sudden I get contacted by Machinima that something's going to change, and I'm like, could this have possibly been worse timing? You know what I mean? Like, I'm making all these changes that I think the fans are going to like, and then I get bad news, and it's like, fuck. Like, it could have been any other time, and it would have been fine. Did it really have to be now? But that's the way the world works. So, here's what's coming up. Here's what's going to change regarding all my stuff. And I know it's going to be a shock to some people. It's an attitude change, really, in a lot of ways. I think that a lot of people view me as an opinionated person, and they like that, but a lot of people feel me as I'm offensive. I don't do things constructively the first time around. And I kind of disagree with that, because there's always a reason behind things that I do. And I think that it's a good thing to be an opinionated person. And in a lot of ways, I think that too many people are so worried about views and so worried about their fans and not offending people. They want to be the most fucking cookie-cutter, PG, generic piece of shit on YouTube that they don't want to say their opinions. And I just want to tell everyone I'm never going to change in that regard. I am an opinionated person, and I'm not a pussy, and I'm going to say what I feel when I feel it, okay? So that's not going to change. You're not going to see me censor myself or change my attitude in that regard. But one really massively negative vibe that I've gotten over the past couple years, since I've been doing YouTube full-time, is that people are really angry that I censor the comments on my videos, okay? And that a lot of the times you'll watch a playthrough and you'll see people getting blocked and you'll see shit like that. And some people, quite honestly, deserve it. And I think that, honestly, some people don't. I think that sometimes you just say the wrong thing at the wrong time, and you may not realize it from your perspective, but if you would put yourself in my shoes and you see that, gee, maybe this isn't the best time for an offensive joke, and a lot of people, oh, but Phil, you make offensive jokes all the time, and you say it's okay to have that kind of humor. Yeah, but look at what's going on my video. I just put out a video, you've got people saying nasty shit, you've got people saying offensive stuff, and then now is the time for you to try to make your joke. Like, I mean, you have to use your head. So I do feel that there has been a disconnect between myself and the fans in regards to the comments. A lot of people say I police the comments too much, I'm a Nazi, yada, yada, yada. Now, I don't know if anyone's noticed anything over the past 2 days, but I've already instituted this change. It's kind of a behind-the-scenes surprise change that I did not announce, and I wanted to see if people were going to realize it or not, and some people have, and some people have not. As of 2 days ago, anyone who has ever been blocked on DSP Gaming has been unblocked. That's right. This is kind of an amnesty, meaning I'm drawing a line, I'm saying, even Steven, I recognize that maybe I overstepped my reasonable bounds in the past 2 years when it came to comments on YouTube, and I'm kind of trying to say, alright, well, let's let bygones be bygones, clean slate, everyone is back and allowed to comment. Now, I need you to understand that this means that, of course, there's going to be a lot of assholes who used to have trolling accounts already. There was the guy impersonating me, DSP Gaming, with 2 eyes, and he's saying ridiculous shit like, oh, give me money because I'm broke, and I mean donations and blah, 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 trying to be me and trying to make me look bad. There are still going to be people like that who are going to get blocked. But I am here to announce that, effective immediately, I am no longer actively policing the comments on any of my channels. I don't feel that it's a worthwhile investment in time. I feel that too many people have been offended by the fact that I've done it. And at this point in time, if it's going to have a massive negative effect on things, then I don't think it's worth it, okay? The amount of time that it takes to police comments and to see the nasty shit that comes out of it, it just makes things worse. And it's kind of like people say, just ignore the trolls. And so I need people to understand, you're going to see more comments on my videos. There's going to be a lot more negative comments on my videos. This is a direct result of me no longer policing comments on my videos, and this is just a natural result of that. And that's why a lot of people say, oh, I wish Phil wouldn't police his videos. But you don't realize that my video, the comments on my videos are so much better than the comments on a lot of other YouTubers' videos because of what I do. So you're going to see a change this year regarding comments, and I need people to understand that. I need people to say, this is what you wanted, so you're getting it, okay? So that's effective immediately change number 1. Change number 2, effective immediately. DSP Street Fighter is now an archive channel. There will be no new content over on DSP Street Fighter, and there's numerous reasons for this. Some that I think are actually really positive reasons, some not so positive, and things that I can't really talk about. But the bottom line is, I really created DSP Street Fighter in 2010, back at a time when I thought that maybe I was going to be a part of the competitive fighting game scene. This was a time when Street Fighter 4 was only a year old and I was still actively playing it on a regular basis. Super Turbo, which is my favorite Street Fighter game of all time, which I am one of the best players in the country at, was actively being played in a tournament scene. It was a candidate for the SBO qualifiers and the SBO tournament in Japan at the time, and there were still tournaments being held all around the country for it, and that's kind of died out. So at that point in time, I really saw that DSP Street Fighter was going to be a way for me to advance my fighting game career outside of seeing all these other gameplay videos that were going to spam your inbox if you were only interested in fighting games. But in truth, what's happened with DSP Street Fighter is that it's become a dusty closet. It really is. It's, you know, last year in 2012, there were maybe 5 new fighting games that came out. I think Dead or Alive, Persona, Tekken Tag Tournament, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and now I'm even grasping to think of a 5th, but I'm pretty sure there was a 5th one in there at some point. Oh, Skullgirls, right. So there were 5 major fighting games that I played in 2012, but what I found was as I started playing them that there were some that I liked better than others, and I did do a little bit more footage of those, like Tekken Tag Tournament 2. If you really want my honest opinion, my favorite new fighting game of 2012 was Tekken Tag Tournament 2, from a competitive standpoint. I really liked the gameplay of the game from a competitive standpoint. But I have not been a part of the competitive fighting game scene for quite some time. It's been about 2 years now since I even entered really a major tournament. And it's a combination of factors. If Super Turbo were still being competitively played at high levels at every tournament, yes, I'd probably still be involved. Howard, in the past couple of years, has changed the way he was doing stuff. If you remember, we used to go over to his house and play Super Turbo all the time on his Japanese cabinets. He no longer has those get-togethers anymore. So a combination of those kind of factors put together the fact that I'm just not playing Street Fighter anymore. And, you know, I do have to say that I am a little disappointed because last year, not 2012, you know what, now I have to say it's not last year anymore. 2 years ago in 2011, my goal was to start traveling to Street Fighter tournaments and do video coverage of the tournaments. And immediately after 2 tournaments, I got I got backlash from the Street Fighter community. How dare you record this? There's people who are streaming and trying to make a living off of this, and you're filming and you're releasing the footage right away. Now you're stealing money out of our pockets. And completely unreasonable, because the bottom line is I was getting more views on videos that I uploaded of fighting game coverage than anybody else. That's the bottom line. No streamer was getting more views than me. I was the big thing at the time. And if they really wanted to be intelligent about it and make money, they would have come to me and said, Phil, let's talk, because you get the biggest viewership. We'll give you rights to the videos, but let's take a cut. I would have been fully willing to talk like that. But they didn't want that. They saw me as an outsider, and they didn't want to be reasonable or be intelligent business people. Instead, they basically gave me a kick to the ass and said, you can come to tournaments and play in them, but good luck filming anything. We're not going to allow you to film anything at any tournament you attend. So, that being said, it pretty much destroyed the idea of what I had for DSP Street Fighter, okay? So, effective immediately, any gaming footage that I record, meaning gameplay, will be on DSP Gaming, okay? It's no longer going to be this goes here, and this goes here, and this goes here, and you have to shuffle around different channels to figure out where it is. The destination for DSP's gameplay is DSP Gaming. This is it, okay? That's another change I'm instituting. And the third change that I'm instituting, and this is another big one, okay? And this one I think a lot of people are going to like, is that I am starting a new series that is going to take over for a lot of the kind of filler games and things that maybe I would have been playing that a lot of people probably honestly weren't going to be interested in. And what I mean is, This week was a perfect example, okay? I did Sly 3. A lot of people wanted me to play Sly 3. But honestly, the playthrough didn't do very well views-wise. And I think it's because it's an older game. It's a game that not a lot of people are, wow, oh, I was really looking for someone to play Sly 3. I don't think that was the case, okay? Alright, sorry about that, everyone. Yeah, the video cut off, which I knew it was going to. I knew I was going to go over 30 minutes on this video because it's so important. But, yeah, I need people to understand that a lot of the times there's a vocal minority, okay, who, they're the loudest people, they demand that I do stuff, but it doesn't mean that that what I'm doing is going to be worth everyone's time or that a lot of people are really even interested in it. And the case here, Sly 3. So many people over the past couple of months said, Phil, you really need to play Sly 3. We really want you to play this game because Sly 4 is coming out in a month and you need to understand what happened in Sly 3 to understand Sly 4. So I finally said, alright, I'm going to take time out of my schedule to actually play Sly 3. And I did. And not a lot of people watched it. Not a lot of people wanted to see it. Compared to other playthroughs I've done, it did perform poorly. And then, the other thing is, the other major game that came out this week, Anarchy Reigns, honestly I thought maybe some people would want to see it, but I kind of knew the views weren't going to be great because it's an old game. The game's been out for a year in most of the world, so anyone who wanted to see this game or play this game has probably already seen it. And those views were just fucking abysmal. Like, no one really watched the playthrough of that game. I mean, it's probably one of the lowest viewed playthroughs I've ever done, and, you know, this kind of week is the kind of thing that I need to avoid. And I know people, oh, Phil's all about the views, Phil's all about... No, I'm all about being able to continuously do this as a career and to entertain you, okay? Everyone tells me they want me to do this, but every time that I mention that maybe something's not going right, oh, Phil only cares about money. No, I care about the love of the game. I am one of the people on YouTube who loves gaming. I want to do this for as long as I possibly can. I want to branch out. I want to be able to bring you coverage of E3 that no one else did and show you what the convention is really like and show you more game coverage than possibly the fucking mainstream media. That's right. I want to be able to bring you important announcements like about SOPA and PIPA and to try to stir up interest in this kind of stuff when it becomes an issue, because as a country and as a gaming community around the world, we need to be able to do this. This is something that I really feel has been a positive, massive amount of positivity for myself, but all of my viewers and fans over the past several years. I don't want it to go away. I don't give a fuck if I make $1 or if I make $1 million, okay? I just want to keep doing this. And for people to accuse me of being a money grubber is ridiculous. There are YouTubers right now, gaming YouTubers, who are taking big paychecks to play games that they don't like, they suck at, and they never would have played. There are big-time companies like EA who are paying people to play certain games, but you're going to accuse me of caring about views and a paycheck. That's ridiculous. And, you know, really, if you really are so intent on bringing people down, go attack the bigger people, okay? Because they're the ones, okay, who are really doing stuff for the money, not me. And I'm tired of being accused of it, because never in my life have I taken a paycheck just to do something that I didn't, you know, enjoy here on YouTube, and that pisses me off that people accuse me of that kind of stuff. So, that being said, this past week, and by the way, I do want to say the Family Guy co-op playthrough that I did seems like it's doing better than all the other footage that I put out this past week. So thank you to anyone who checked out the Family Guy playthrough. It was 3-player co-op, myself, John Rambo, and Joe. And a lot of people like it when Joe is here as an added person for co-op, and I think the playthrough is a better playthrough because of that. And, you know, definitely check it out if you haven't. But that being said, this past week was a bust for me. Here was a week when I was like, wow, new attitude, it's a new year, I'm going to put out less uploads a day, I'm going to focus more on quality, and I really was feeling great, and immediately, views in the toilet. And what I'm basically trying to say is the third change here is that I can't do that anymore. I can't have weeks like this week. This is literally going to kill me in my career on YouTube if I continue to have shitty weeks like this. So, a new change that I'm making is a new series that I'm starting. It's called Retro Replays, okay? And what this is going to be, this is kind of what a lot of people have asked for quite a long time, and I think that people are really going to enjoy it, especially if you've been a long-time fan, And even for newcomers who are like, gee, I wonder what some of DSP's best stuff has been, but, you know, they really didn't have a chance to explore it. I am going to replay some of the best games that I feel I've ever done playthroughs here on YouTube, okay? And what I mean by that is there's some games that when I first started way back when in 2008 on the Dark Side Phil channel, that I played these games, but I did not do full playthroughs of them. And some of the examples here, Spider-Man Web of Shadows and Dead Space 1 are the two that startlingly just jump into my mind, as these were games that I did not do full playthroughs of, but people, that was back when, keep in mind, I didn't even have a widescreen camera back then. I had a widescreen TV and I was taking a normal digital camera and going on the side like this, so they were angled playthroughs. You know, people loved the videos. In fact, they're some of the highest viewed videos I've ever had here on YouTube, but at the same time, they weren't full playthroughs, and people were like, yeah, I wonder what it would have been like if Phil really did, in a modern era right now, do a full playthrough of those games. It's coming. In fact, it's coming tomorrow. Yeah. Starting on Sunday, Retro Replay launches. And it's going to be an ongoing series where I play some of the most classic games that I've ever played here on YouTube. So, yeah, and I know people right now are probably going nuts. Wow, this is great. Are you mean you're going to play games like Fallout 3? You mean you're going to play games like Heavy Rain again? Yes, I am, because that's some of the most entertaining content I feel I've ever put out on YouTube. I feel that right now, doing it with my modern camera and doing it, you know, in a modern style, with my humor and everything that's going on, people are going to love it. I think that the views are going to be decent, and I really feel that this is something that you want to see. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start on my website. I haven't done this yet, so I apologize for that, because maybe I should have, but eventually I'm going to start opening up polls of what games do you want to see me replay here on YouTube. Maybe it's Mass Effect. Maybe it's, you know, Uncharted. You know, there's so many great games that I have played in my YouTube career that I think a lot of the older ones, people might want to see me re-explore now that, you know, the series has progressed, or now that, you know, things have changed and I've got modern equipment. And, you know, Web of Shadows was a game that I really felt was a great game, and because I wasn't doing a full playthrough, it actually didn't even get as much credit as it should have. But still, again, millions and millions of views on that playthrough, and I would love to do a full playthrough of it at this point. So, Retro Replay launches tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you what game I'm playing yet, but it's partially because I haven't decided yet. But starting tomorrow on Sunday, Retro Replay here on DSP Gaming, you're going to want to see it, because it's going to be a game that's been a fan favorite, and, you know, it's going to be really entertaining, okay? So what I'm trying to get at is, there's a week when there's a game that maybe I'm uncertain, or a game that not a lot of people are hyped for, like Anarchy Reigns, and I'll be honest, like this coming week, Devil May Cry. I apologize again for the sudden cut. Unfortunately, my camera, as you know, I use it so much. I use it probably more than anyone on the planet uses a camera. The batteries on my camera have all become worn out, and so they don't even run more than like 40 minutes. So the battery just died on my friggin' camera, and now I have a new battery in it. But yeah, Retro Replay starts tomorrow, Sunday, on DSP Gaming. Be there, because I think it's going to be fun. We're going to be playing games from the past, and what I was getting at before the camera shut off, I'm going to be doing polls on my website where you're going to be able to vote for the games that you want to see me replay. And so what I want you to start thinking about today is, gee, what games has Phil played that we really enjoyed and we want to see him play again? And then I'm sure people are going to be leaving comments on this video about it. And then I'm going to, on the King of Hate website, on the forums, eventually create a poll where you can vote for those, and we'll go based off of that. But this week in particular, as I was saying, Devil May Cry is a game that a lot of people want to see, and I think a lot of people are like hating on because, you know, oh, it's not the original Dante and they changed the story and all that. But I think Devil May Cry is a game that people are going to want to watch, okay? So I'm definitely doing a playthrough of that. But the other game that comes out this week, Sniper Ghost Warrior 2, this is a game that's been delayed multiple times. It's a game that I really don't think a lot of people would have interest in. You know what I mean? It's more of like a filler game. And I said, why? I really thought to myself, honestly, this week, why should I play that game when I could do a retro replay that I think people will really want to see? And so that's the bottom line, is I'm going to start doing these games that people want to see. And I need your interactivity and your feedback to know what games it is that you want to see. So that's pretty much the announcements. The last thing that I do want to announce, because I've got to end this video because the batteries are all running out and it's going on too long anyway, is that I am going to make an honest effort in 2013 to be more interactive with the fans and to be more receptive to the fans and to listen to what you say. And what I'm trying to say is, I know that over the past couple years, yes, I know that because I was successful at what I was doing, I was kind of like, well, I'm just going to keep doing it the way I want to do it, and I'm not going to listen to any of the fans' ideas, because obviously I know what I'm talking about. And I don't think that's the right attitude to have, and I do apologize for that, and I think that that was a reason why, number one, my viewership has dropped. Number two, a lot of people say negative things about me all the time, like Phil just doesn't listen, he's a Nazi, and he censors all his comments and such. So, this year, what I would really like is for people to interact more with me. Whether it means you tweet me stuff on Twitter, you talk to me on Facebook, you join my website, thekingofhate.com, and you interact with the community that's already there. There's a lot of people who are longtime fans on that website who, you know, if new people were to go over there and to sign up and to reinvigorate the site, I really think that we can get back to where we were in 2010, and ideally that's really what I want to do. I want to get back to where I was when people gave me the benefit of the doubt. They said, I know that Phil's entertaining, and no matter what video he puts out today, it's going to be entertaining, and I'm going to watch it. And I think I've lost that benefit of the doubt. A lot of people have said, well, there are other people who do similar to what Phil does, and they do direct capture, and it's more fancy, and Phil puts out so many videos that it gets watered down and it's not as entertaining anymore. And I want to undo that if I can, because honestly, that's the only way I'm going to survive here on YouTube. You know, things were so good for so long that you eventually set yourself up for a fall. And I kind of knew it was coming. I just didn't know what form it would be coming from. I think a lot of us thought, oh, it would be Sopa and Pippa, and they would shut down gaming on YouTube, or maybe my channel will get shut down for copyright strikes. And then it completely came out of left field somewhere where we never expected it. So, what I really need from you, if you're a viewer, if you're a fan, if you like my content, and you really want me to continue to make videos on YouTube, I just need you to watch. I need you to have a positive attitude, because I tell you, I'm attacking this with a positive attitude. That's why I'm making positive changes, like no more censorship of comments and retro replay. I think that this is going to be a lot of fun, okay? And that's how I'm attacking this. Don't be a negative asshole and, oh, the world's ending. Oh, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you should just quit and just go to another network or go do something different. Why? I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm extremely grateful to the company that has been paying me for the past 2 years, to the people who have given me amazing opportunities, to the fans who have given me the views. Why would you turn it into something negative when you can still push forward in a positive manner? And that's really how you have to attack these kind of things in life. So I really need, what I need from you in 2013 is, I'm really asking you if you could please, first of all, forgive me if you were offended at anything that I've done in the past couple of years, because I do apologize. I am far from infallible. Even though I do play every major game, and I feel that maybe my objective opinions on game reviews may be a little bit better than everybody else, outside of that, I know that I am a human who has faults, and that, you know, sometimes I do go overboard, and I am emotional, and you know, things happen that I don't intend. And looking at things like the website that at one point were amazing, it was amazing, there was so much interactivity, so many people that were on it constantly using it, and then really it's kind of stagnated and it's not a lot of people using it anymore. That's unfortunate, and I want that to change. I want us to get back to where we were in 2010, where we were a completely interactive community. And by the way, things have changed. Like I said, I have Twitter now, I have stuff. I actually have started responding more to fans who ask me, you know, questions that I can answer on Twitter and stuff like that. And I want people to understand that that's the kind of relationship that I like to have with my fans. Now, no, by no means am I going to use Twitter to, oh, look, here's food that I'm eating and shit like that other people do. It's for business purposes. If you want to ask me about games, if you want to ask me about, you know, playthroughs and stuff that's coming up, that's fine. That's what I'm using the account for. So understand that's what I mean when I'm talking about this stuff. But okay, so that's it. That's what I need. I need the fans really to give me the benefit of the doubt that what I'm putting out is quality content and it's worth your time and you're going to want to check it out on a daily basis. Whether or not you watch every video, but at least give me a look. You know what I mean? Probably what I'm doing is going to be kind of interesting, even if you only watch one video. And I know that your time is valuable. I know that there's other YouTubers that you want to watch. I know that there's plenty of other things in your life that you need to do. But I'm really being serious about it. At this point, if you've liked everything that I've done on YouTube and you want it to continue and you want this to continue to be my career, I really need your help in 2013 when it comes to interactivity, when it comes to views, when it comes to these things. And you know me, I wouldn't be making this video unless it were serious, okay? This is, from a career perspective, the most important video I've ever put out. Again, if I don't get to keep doing this, then I won't be able to do things like alert everyone about SOPA and PIPA and make important reviews about games that I really feel help you to decide whether or not you want to buy a game over, you know, other people's reviews. So, thank everyone. I thank everyone for anything you've ever done for me, whether it was a view, whether it was a like, whether it was anything like that. You have to understand that I never asked for it, and I never, ever, in my wildest dreams, when I was doing videos for YouTube as a hobby, ever believed that it could be a career for me. I've now done this for 2 years, and I've got another year ahead of me going strong, where we're going to see how it goes, and I'm hoping that I can turn things around, and that DSP Gaming and the King of Hate vlogs can now be your destination for entertaining content on a daily basis, and that you understand that I'm going to really put in the honest effort to entertain you as much as I can. So, that's it. That's the announcement. And I hope that now people kind of take stuff a little bit more seriously, and that's that. Changes are already in effect. You're probably going to see crazy comments and shit going on everywhere, and you know, again, it's a symptom of not censoring stuff, and I really have gotten just this general vibe that people don't want me to do it anymore, so I'm done with it. Okay, that's it. Thank you for listening to this very long video, and I hope that we can now move forward in 2013 in a more positive vibe, and hopefully I'll be able to put out entertaining content that you will want to check out on a daily basis. Hopefully things will be reinvigorated, like the website. I would love that, and we'll have to see where things go from here. But please, the one thing that you can do really to help me is spread the word as well, because I'm not the guy on Machinima every day on their page putting up videos. I don't do cross collaborations with other big YouTubers to try to get my name out there. I don't spam my videos on other websites to try to get attention. I don't advertise anywhere. That's not me, okay? I feel that if my content's good enough, you're going to come watch it. So, if you really like my content, word of mouth. Spread the word about me. DSP Gaming is now daily your source for gaming videos. The King of Hate vlogs daily is your source for vlog videos, and it's going to entertain, and I hope that this year can be a great one, just like the previous two. Okay? Thanks a lot for watching this. I'm DSP. As always, thank you everyone. I will see you for entertaining gameplay starting on Sunday with Retro Replay. I think people are really going to like it. So, thanks a lot. Peace out.